Hey, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. This time we have a card discussion for you guys. I want to talk about the Heroic Duo Videl. So, in my opinion, this is one of the best cards to come out of the World Martial Arts Tournament set. It's just an incredibly good card for red, and I'm going to go over why I think that's the case. So, can't go over the card without telling you guys what it does. So, 1-drop red battle card, 5k combo, which is actually super important as to why I think the card's so good. It's a counterattack, negates the attack, and comes into play. So, it's a body negate, much like Roshi. And permanent, if you have Heroic Duo Sun Gohan and play in your battle area, this card gains 9k power. So that's going to come into play as well, because the Heroic Duo Gohan is actually also a relatively decent card in combination with this card, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So, like I said, it's one of the most impactful cards for red out of the World Martial Arts Tournament. This is something red really needed. So the best negate for red in the past has been Pride Justice Topo, kind of generically, and that's for a few reasons. So normally it's a 2-cost negate. When one of the players or leaders is awakened and it comes into play, negates the attack, and it's a giant 20k body, it can clear an entire board of weenies just by attacking. If it kills one, it'll restand and it'll just clear a whole board that way. But ever since Storm kind of took over the meta and became the champion, Topo has been getting cut from a lot of red decks because the 2-cost negate is just way too steep. Pride Justice Topo was much better when SS3 was around, playing the blue-red variant, because you untap that 3 energy, so you're able to afford the 2-cost. But even those builds, even the red-blue SS3 builds, were beginning to cut Topo inside it and main deck things like Vado's Assistance just to kind of combat Storm, because even in SS3 where you got that 3 free energy, Topo was really costly. And you can imagine without SS3 that trying to resolve a Topo as a negate attack is even harder. Like in Pan, for example, turn 2 you're only going to have 2 energy, and tapping both your energy for Topo and then leaving yourself vulnerable to the rest of Storm's onslaught is going to just be really bad, because one negate is not going to stop Storm unless it's timed absolutely perfectly. Moving on from there, Unending Awakening is a really niche negate. It's a really good red negate, but it's only good for specific leaders because they only get the 5k bump value off of it. So the best leader it's involved with is definitely Pan. It's the best leader that can take advantage of what it does, which is give a red Saiyan leader a 5k bump. It's also playable in like Majin Vegeta and the red Vegeta from the Tournament Power, but those cards aren't super duper meta relevant, so it's really only really good in Pan, so it's not really splashable in other decks. And then we have Vado's Assistance, which is the first red negate that ever came out. And honestly, in a lot of decks, it's really like a dead card for the most part. It does negate attacks, so it does serve that purpose, but the restanding a battle card is not always very relevant. The only really relevant situation it really comes up in is if like you're trying to put pressure on your opponent with the 1-drop Trunks, like to swing for a crit and take a life to start self-awakening. And then the Vado's Assistance is good in that scenario to restand the Trunks so that it doesn't die, and so your Chain Zeno play is relatively safe. But besides that, in any other type of red deck, really, it's not the most relevant card. So Heroic Duo Videl coming out and being, in my opinion, red's flagship staple negate was really what the color needed. You know, green has full power energy, yellow has Nimbus, blue has Vado's Assistance, and red doesn't really have just like that one staple negate that you, when you're saying, okay, I need a red negate, what am I going to play? Your choice is always weird. So Heroic Duo Videl coming out and being that good generic negate for red is really important in my opinion. Now the next point I want to bring up about Videl is the board control on top of it. So let's say I'm playing against Storm in particular, right? They're going to drop, you know, several Go-Tens to try and kill me, and I have, let's say, like a blue and a red up, and I'm trying to play defense with like my beans and my negates, like my Videl negates and whatnot. So when I drop my Videl negate, whether it's 1 or 2, it could be any number of them. The next turn, if I'm trying to clear back a board of Storm Go-Tens, for example, if I drop the Heroic Duo Sun Gohan, it comes into play and pops a 10k or less. So that's really good, because right when it gets played, it pops a Go-Ten, and then it's a 10k swing on its own. So any Go-Ten in rest mode, this thing is gonna threaten. So either it's gonna kill the Go-Ten, it's gonna make them waste a 5k combo, or they won't go negative card advantage, but they'll use a super combo. They'll use a Hoi or a boost attack Piccolo, and if they do that, that's actually still valuable for you, because if they're over comboing and they're using super combos there to save a Go-Ten, that means that's less super combos they're gonna have to kill you with, and that really does add up in the end game. So whether they lose a Go-Ten, neg 1 card, or over combo, you're still gaining pretty good value off just summoning the Gohan, because you've already popped a 10k or less with the Gohan, and then you're swinging at another one. And when Gohan's in play in the battle area, Videl gets boosted by 9k. She becomes a 10k swinger as well. So, you know, they're training together, fighting together and whatnot, and Heroic Duo Videl gets boosted as well. So she'll threaten any other Go-Tens on the board. And if you dropped multiple Videls in the previous turn, they're all going to be boosted up to 10k. So with just the Goten and one Videl alone, you can clear potentially up to 3 Gotens or make your opponent neg 3 cards depending on how the situation plays out. And if you have more Videls on the board on top of that, like you can clear up to even 4 Gotens. So that is pretty solid about Videl as well. Just the added utility that she gets from having Gohan in play, on top of her being a body negate with combo power, and her having combo power is another reason why she's so valuable. Like, so, you know, depending on a certain situation, like one of the best reasons about to play Topo was that he could be a 5k combo when you needed to, whether you like would negate with him and then combo with him off board if you really needed to do it, or if you don't have access up energy up to access and negate, you just drop the 5k combo when you need to survive. And Videl serves that same purpose. She is that 5k combo when you need to. So you can, like, let's say you're at a 10k, your leader's currently 10k, you negate one Goten attack with Videl, or negate like a Hurtigrun attack. You've already gotten value off it by negating an attack, and then it's a 5k combo just sitting there in order to block, basically chump block the next attack, right? So let's say your opponent swings with another Goten or something, they have to combo at least 5k because you have a 5k combo showing. If they don't drop a 5k into it, 9 times out of 10, Videl's just getting comboed and you're saving another damage that way. So a 1 card to stop 2 attacks is really good, and you're gonna have to make them waste cards. And one of the names of the game against Storm is making them waste cards. That's why Senzu Bean is so good, right? That's why Unending Awakening is so good, because when you put a base bump on your leader to make him bigger for the whole turn, they're wasting cards to keep trying to deal damage to you, which is really good, and you're having to use less cards to defend yourself. And Heroic Duo Videl serves a very similar purpose in doing almost exactly the same thing by negating an attack, so getting value there, and then chump blocking another attack, so basically stopping 2 attacks for 1 card. Really good. So this card is obviously very similar to Master Roshi Forges of Will, which came out in the Tournament Power set. So they're both body negates, and what I mean by body negates is they're negates that have like combo power and attack power. They're not extra card negates, basically. They both serve very like similar roles, but also very niche roles. So we have like the Videl I mentioned before. She gets value off having the Gohan on board. She synergizes well with the World Tournament sets, so she gets searched off like the announcer 1-drop, things like that. Master Roshi has some similar different niche roles where he meshes well obviously with Universe 7 stuff. So like the U7 Gohan can combo him away to draw 2. The Frieza can ditch him to draw 2, and he's searchable off like you're ready to fight Son Gohan, things like that. So separate niche roles, but I think it's really cool to understand that these cards are very similar on the surface, where they're both just 1-drop body negates for different colors, but they do serve very different roles and can be played very differently. And I think people sometimes forget that when Bandai prints cards that have similar effects like Roshi and like Videl, they kind of just go with the excuse of, oh well, they're just slapping the same card effects on different cards, and it's getting boring and stale. If you look deeper into this situation though, the Roshi and the Videl, that's actually not the case, guys. So these are very similar cards, definitely, but they also do serve very different roles, which I'm actually a pretty big fan of. So I think it's really cool card design. I really like from World Tournament how the link cards work and how they just get effects based off each other. The fact that they're 2-card combos in this game doesn't matter too much, because this game draws more than like any other game I've really ever seen from my experience playing card games. So this game really makes good value out of 2-card combos. And finally, what does that mean? It means in the future we're most likely going to be getting some more body negates, which I'm really excited for. I don't think Blue needs any more body negates. I don't think Blue needs any more cards for like the next like 3 sets. Blue can just be fine after set 5. Don't need to print any more blue cards, Bandai. But body negates for green and body negates for black and body negates eventually probably for blue will lead to some really interesting instances, as long as they keep varying the card design and allowing them to fill different roles. So I think it's really cool, and I really like Videl. I think it's one of the best cards coming out of the set, or that has already come out of the set, and I just really want to talk to you guys about it. Give you guys some tips and pointers on I guess kind of like the best ways to utilize the card. It's going to be really good in obviously announcer, because you negate an attack, you draw a card with it. It's going to be pretty solid in pan. Unfortunately, when you do negate with it, you won't draw a card off of it because it'll be a little too small. But in your generic red decks that you're trying to build to beat Storm, Videl is going to be a really good pick, because you're going to have the Videl, and you may even want to play the Heroic Duo Son Gohan combo as well in order to just clap back and clear those Gotens after you stop their plays. So yeah, guys, just a quick discussion video on talking about Videl, one of my favorite cards out of the set. Let me know what you guys think about this discussion down in the comments below. I'm interested to know what you guys think about Heroic Duo Videl. What's your favorite card out of World Martial Arts Tournament? Let me know. Maybe there's some merit there to talk about it, and I'll definitely consider that. Next discussion from World Martial Arts Tournament is going to be comparing Deborah versus Foreseeing Hit. Very similar cards once again, but they do serve very different roles, so I want to let you guys know about that. Expect that video coming up soon, guys. Our Discord server is going to be down in the description below. come there to talk about anything Dragon Ball Super related. Definitely check that out. And we are running a giveaway for this week. We're giving away a booster box of set 4, guys. So before the week is up on October 8th, definitely enter that for your chance to win a booster box for absolutely free, guys. So check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hashtag Shenron loves good negate cards, and I'll see you next time.